The Academy considers members of the media our partners in reporting accurate bone and joint health information to the public and our patients at large. We begin with the category Print Journalism, National Magazine. Many women in their 30s and 40s ignore their osteoporosis risk and think it only affects seniors. However, we all know that osteoporosis can develop at any age. Ladies' Home Journal writer Marjorie Rosen, looking at why there has been an increase in younger women getting this bone disease, offers readers a realistic picture of what women can do at any age to help keep bones strong. Will the editor of Ladies' Home Journal, Ms. Julie Bain, please come up and accept this Moore Award for the magazine's article, Bone Up.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here. I never turn down a chance to be in a room full of orthopedic surgeons because I think you're the most fun. I've already heard some great stories. But I just want to say that I came down here from New York because awards like this, given by a physician organization, means the world to me. And Ladies' Home Journal has a long history of credibility and authority and activism in women's health that goes way back to before the FDA was formed. And we still check every fact. We really care about credibility in a world full of crappy health information on the internet. And this really, you know, journalists are under fire now, but this gives us hope that there's still place for really credible health information. Thank you so much.
By the way, each Moore Award was shipped to our winners. However, journalists will be presented with a sample award for their photograph tonight. Well, so thank you, Julie. Now, for more than 6 years, patient Jean Matthews was taking biphosphonates to help reduce her risk for future fractures. She was under the impression that this medication was to prevent bone breaks. However, in 2009, her thigh bone snapped in half while she was walking up her front porch. Good Housekeeping magazine profiles Jean's story. The article tells readers why younger women are overtreated and why older women are neglected, and what people need to know to stay healthy. In Good Housekeeping's Good Housekeeping's health editor, Tony Gerber Hope, please come up and accept this Moore Award for the magazine's special in-depth report called Fractured.
Thank you so much. And thank you to the Academy. I never thought I'd have a chance to say that in life, but here I am. So, like Julie, who knows only too well how hard we work, it's especially gratifying. We turn to you as experts so often for our stories and to know that we got it right. I know a lot of you probably have very busy practices. Well, let me tell you. We have 24 million readers who turn to the magazine every month looking for health information, advice, and we have to get it right. They think we're doctors. Sometimes we do too, but mostly we don't. We have the appropriate disclaimers, but it's so many women depend on, and men probably, but less so I think, depend on the information they get from magazines and newspapers. To be the health keepers for their families. And we turn to you for the information. So this kind of synergy is a very happy story for us. So I thank you. My editor-in-chief, Rosemary Ellis, would like to extend her thanks as well.
I guess that makes me the host of the Academy Awards. All right, well, thank you, Tony. I'm doing a bad job as it is. At this year's London Paralympics, U.S. officials estimate that 20% of Team USA will be composed of veterans. In April 2004, Army First Lieutenant Melissa Stockwell was struck by a roadside bomb in Baghdad, and all but 6 inches of her leg remained. She was the first female American amputee of the Iraq War. Now, a triathlete who has won a gold medal, she credits the orthopedic medical teams that treated her at Walter Reed Army Medical Hospital for her success as an athlete. Sports medicine writer Alexander Wolf writes about new prosthetic technology and how federally funded research labs are creating prosthetics that allow amputees a chance to compete, something they never thought imaginable. Alexander, would you please come forward?
Thank you so much. I really am here on behalf of Terry McDonnell, our top editor, recently inducted into the Magazine Editors Hall of Fame. Richard Demack, who was the editor who conceived the whole package that included the piece that you just heard about, and David Epstein, whose idea it was to write about prosthetics and how they're pushing the envelope and beginning to filter down to civilians too. It was an unbelievably moving experience for me to go to Walter Reed so close to here, and also go up to MIT to see what Hugh Hare is doing in his biomechatronics lab. You've heard of a body shop. You've never seen a body shop until you've been in Hugh Hare's lab. He's creating what, in a memorable phrase, he calls robots that you wear, the future we may be seeing very, very soon. But I think my real message here is to the Academy to thank you for these awards. It's not always easy within a magazine office to get the green light, especially at our magazine, where people are more interested in Jeremy Lin and Tim Tebow and Kate Upton, to get a green light for a story like this. But the fact that you're willing to recognize it means the next time we have a chance to step outside the arena and talk about an important story that's next to sports, our editors are likely to say, yeah, go for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alex. Arthritis Today magazine serves to inspire and help those facing any forms of arthritis. The 3 stories were entered into this year's competition, and I'm pleased to say that all 3 are being recognized with more awards. Aching ankles and what you need in a new knee offer patients both surgical and non-surgical advice for arthritis treatment. The 3rd article profiled celebrity Gloria Gaynor. As a disco star in the early 80s, Gloria typically wore 4 to 5 inch heels during her performance, which helped set the stage for knee osteoarthritis. After Gloria and her orthopedic surgeon got her osteoarthritis under control, she was able to get active again, lose 55 pounds. And we invited Gloria to be with us this evening, but she had a competing singing gig that presented a travel challenge. Even so, she wanted us to know that she appreciates her orthopedic care.
Hi, I'm Gloria Gaynor. I'd like to begin by congratulating Arthritis Today on winning the Moore Award. Congratulations. I began having knee pain around 1985. It became increasingly difficult for me to bend down, to go up and down stairs, to exercise, and to dance on stage. After speaking to a friend of mine, he suggested that I go and see the wonderful Dr. Windsor. Dr. Windsor performed a total knee replacement. It was successful. It was wonderful. Because of the orthopedic care that I have received, I'm finding it much more easy to bend down, much more easy to navigate stairs, much more easier to exercise, and dancing on stage is not a problem. My advice to patients who are suffering orthopedic knee pain is that they see an orthopedic surgeon, that they follow his advice, that they become proactive in determining which treatment options are available and which ones are best for them. Because if you do, it is certain you will survive.
Question is, am I going to survive up here? All right. Accepting all 3 more awards for arthritis today is Amy Melnick. Amy, will you join us, please, on the stage?
It's hard to top Gloria Gaynor. And I too want to thank the Academy, but like at that, I needed a couple of notes, but I promise you won't have to play the music to get me off stage. Good evening, and on behalf of the Arthritis Foundation and our award-winning magazine, Arthritis Today, we really appreciate this prestigious honor. These 3 stories exemplify what we strive to do every day at the Foundation and at the magazine, Arthritis Today, to educate, empower, and inspire millions with arthritis. Our story, Aching Ankles, profiled 2 people who had different surgeries for ankle osteoarthritis, fusion and replacement. Both patients were satisfied with their choices and now enjoy a better quality of life. We hope this story can take the fear out of these procedures for patients who desperately need them. Our story, What You Need in a New Knee, explores different types of knee replacements and what patients can do to help ensure a good outcome. While it is ultimately the surgeon's decision to decide what type of implant in a patient, we hope this story enables patients to have more informed conversations with their doctors and enable them to be more of a partner rather than a passenger in their healthcare decisions. Gloria said it best in our final story, and we are thrilled that she is a spokesperson for good orthopedic care. She's still performing at age 60 and is an inspiring force and face for this important message. The dedicated team of writers and editors at Arthritis Today is proud to bring important orthopedic advances and self-management skills to millions of people experiencing joint pain, and it's a true honor to be recognized for their efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Moving to the category of consumer journalism, national newspaper, we present the next Moore Award to AARP's Bulletin. Freelance writer Beth Levine writes about a topic which brings so many people into our offices, knee pain. More and more baby boomers are opting for knee replacement surgery earlier in life to stay alive and active. Beth describes what boomers need to know about surgery and what they can expect to function after operation. Will Ms. Levine come up and accept this Moore Award for AARP's Bulletin, Everything You Need to Know About New Knees?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to thank the Academy. You know, when you sit alone in a room all day as a freelancer, after a while you just wonder if you're just talking to yourself. So thank you for this reminder that what we do matters. I want to particularly thank Lauren Pearsall. I hope you all know what a treasure you have in her. Every time I call her up whining, you know, do you have a stat on, or can you find me an expert who, and oh, by the way, my deadline's in 5 minutes, you won't have a problem. She always comes through for me. I would also, I quoted 3 surgeons in my article, and they were wonderful about sitting on the phone with me and making sure I got it right. David Blaha from University of Michigan Health System, Rafael Sierra from Mayo Clinic, and Michael Baumgartner from Yale New Haven Hospital. I'd also, of course, want to thank the AARP Bulletin, in particular, my eagle-eyed editor, Barbara Basler. Is she here? No? Well, she always makes me look great. But most of all, I would like to thank my mother's lousy knees that brought me to this article. And she has promised me that whatever goes next, I have first dibs on writing about it. God willing, I'll be here next year with hips. My money's on the hips. Thank you.
Now, my daughter went to journalism school, and she taught me that there are no bad experiences, just new material. All right. Well, thank you, Beth. USA Today's columnist Craig Wilson shares his personal experiences in a weekly column called The Final Word. In 2010, Craig was out running errands on a Friday afternoon when he was struck by a car. The crash shattered his kneecap and forced him to have several knee surgeries, including a knee replacement. His accident and road to recovery were the source of several inspirational stories. While recovering from surgery, he learned to climb stairs with one crutch and unload a dishwasher on one leg. Craig, please come up and accept this Moore Award for your USA Final Word, columns which chronicled your journey back to mobility.
Little did I know at the time that getting hit by a car was going to win me an award, but I will take it. Why not? I was going to thank my surgeons here tonight, and I still can, but they know who they are. I've thanked them over and over and over again, and they got me back onto the road of recovery. Instead, I'd just like to tell a couple of little stories about how there actually are happy endings for getting hit by a car after you got hit by a car. After I wrote my first column about my accident, the next morning there was an email in my file. It was from Sandy Gordon, and she said, I work for so-and-so, so-and-so in Chicago, and we're orthopedic surgeons, and yada, yada. And I said, how nice. Well, to make a long story short, Sandy and I became email buddies. We have a relationship that you don't need to know about, and we're both married, so everything is fine. But she was an inspiration because she said to me once, somewhere along the way, and I found it today and I wrote it down, because she was spurring me on. She knew that I was in my, am I ever going to get better? And she told me that I could play basketball, when this was all over. And I thought this was great news since I'd never played basketball before in my life. So I said, oh, well, there's a perk. And the other perk is that as I progressed, I was actually hit by the car on my way to the gym, which is near our house. And I ended up in the pool at the gym with 12 80-year-old women who have all become my friends. We talk about our hips, we talk about our knees, we go out for drinks, and it's the only place left in America where I can be the boy toy.
Thank you, Craig, I think. In the category of consumer journalism, local newspaper, we recognize a newspaper from Tulsa, Oklahoma, where about 1,800 amputation surgeries are performed each year. Tulsa World staff writer Carrie Aspinwall profiles 4 residents who are living life on at least one prosthetic leg. Carrie could not be here with us this evening. However, we have one of the amputees profiled in her article here with us to share his story. Retired Marine William Gibson, who goes by Spanky, was the first above-knee amputee to return to active duty in Iraq.
Oh, thank you very much. Hard to follow that gentleman right there. That was outstanding. I like that. Well, obviously, in a couple of minutes, I can't even explain the name Spanky, so I won't go there. It's in your pamphlet. And I got to thank you, Mr. Wolf, for the story you did on Melissa. She's a real good friend of mine. And funny thing is that all of my endeavors as an amputee, I was shot in May of 2006, took a bullet through the knee during a firefight, amputated at a combat surgical hospital. Brought to Bethesda, went through my recovery. So a pretty simple thing. Got back on active duty in about 10 months later, and then obviously pushed as a senior staff NCO in the Marine Corps to do what I had joined at that point almost 18 years prior to do. The orthopedic medicine that I lived through was outstanding. It was amazing. My surgeons were unbelievable. One, they saved my life. Two, they gave me the ability to do a lot of things I do today. You know, even though I almost tripped on this stinking thing down there coming up here. Not good for an amputee, but hey, I can roll. Yeah. But when Carrie, I just happened to be in Oklahoma. I just retired from here. I was at the Pentagon, and I was on the Wounded Warrior amputee softball team. The pitcher you see there was the team captain. I was also the team catcher, and the bilateral below-the-knee amputee there was our team pitcher, which is also the youngest Marine in our team, made up of Army and Marines. And Carrie said, hey, because I'm from a small town called Pryor Creek, Oklahoma, right outside of Tulsa. They were doing a Sunday paper, and they said, we want to talk about a lot of amputees in the area that have recovered from their wounds or their injuries or their diseases. And she said, Spanky, you know, we don't really know each other. I would love to use you as the military part, because obviously the military, as we're just talking at our table, we're just over 1,200 amputees over 2 wars over a decade. There's not a lot of us compared to all the other amputations that happen, you know, throughout the year, including Oklahoma. Statistics put in there. So she came and used them. I'm like, of course, you know, so followed around. I was amazed at how she portrayed, and that's how I'm going to put it, how she said and portrayed our story. How she communicated to a small community of less than 1 million people if you talk about the whole rural environment around Tulsa. We're a state of 3 million. So she was able to get that point across that we're not, and as I put it, especially in the military side, we're not disabled. We can do a lot of things as amputees nowadays because of what you all can do for us today, whether it be replacements or whether it be those amputations and the equipment that you help design, build, or put us in. So it's, when I talked to Carrie, you know, about 2 days ago when I was in Dallas on my way here, I said, what do you want me to say? And she said, just tell your story. But I'll say that. My story's in the book. That's simple. You know, being a Marine, I did what my job was. But what Carrie has done for us in the state of Oklahoma, in the community of Tulsa, and talk about all amputees, not just the high-profile ones that wear a pretty uniform, she's done a great thing for us. Because no longer are people going to look at us in the community and say, well, you have a limitation that is a disability. They're just going to say, well, you might have a limitation, but I'm not going to look at you differently anymore. So on behalf of Carrie, that this is all about anyway, I want to say thank you. On behalf of me, thank each and every one of you for what you do for us, day in and day out, year on end. So thank you.
Beyond the battlefield, is a 10-part series the Huffington Post ran on consecutive weekdays in October 2011. It chronicles the challenges, victories, and problems that catastrophically wounded soldiers encounter after returning home from the battlefields of Iraq and Afghanistan. The series was the result of several months of reporting and interviews by veteran military correspondent David Wood. David was just awarded a Pulitzer Prize for this series. That explores what it means for a soldier to suffer extraordinary disabling wounds. It's not often that we have a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist with us, but here to accept this award for Beyond the Battlefield is David Wood.
So I come to you this evening courtesy of my two personal orthopedic surgeons, Dan Peerless and Anthony Garal, who just completed a partial knee replacement on my right knee 10 days ago. So, so I have a personal stake in all this. I've spent most of my career reporting from battlefields around the world, and they're pretty scary places, but I gotta tell you, the scariest thing I've done recently is to write about what you folks do, trying to translate the incredibly intricate and complicated and groundbreaking work that you all do, and translate that into the civilian world, into people who don't, so that people, ordinary folks, can understand it. And it's scary because this is some pretty complicated stuff, and I am not a medical expert, and so I spent a lot of time trying to get it right, and I really value this award as evidence that I did get it right, so I appreciate it. I want to say just a word about the people that I wrote about. I spent 10 months getting to know wounded soldiers, Marines, sailors, and airmen, Marines like Tyler Southern, who you see up there, who's a triple amputee. An incredible opportunity for me, and as well to meet the medical staff that took care of these folks, from the battlefield medics to the surgeons and nurses and technicians who take care of them, all the way on to Walter Reed and Brooke Army Medical Center back here in the States, and the researchers who are finding even new and better ways to help these folks recover a full life. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't say it was an incredible opportunity for me to get to know these folks and to tell their stories. They are really the ones who are the heroes of this series that I did, not me. I just told their stories. The most important thing I learned from them, I think, is that an answer to a question I started out with, which was, how do we respond to them? How do we, you know, when you see an amputee on the street or a burn patient, how do you react? Do you acknowledge their condition or what? And I honestly didn't know, and I was a little reluctant to say the obvious, what happened? They want you to ask. They want to talk about their wounds because, as one of them put it to me, these are visible evidence of our sacrifice, of which we are extremely proud. So thank you for this award, and go hug a veteran.
Now on to broadcast journalism. Hospital Sacred Heart is the largest private hospital in northern Haiti. It is located in a small village, Milo, which is about an 8-hour drive from the hardest hit area of Port-au-Prince. Retired orthopedic surgeon, Dr. John Lovejoy, has volunteered at this hospital for more than 10 years, and shortly after the earthquake, he enlisted his son, John, also an orthopedic surgeon, to help him organize a U.S. medical response. Angels of Milo, Haiti's Aftershock, is a documentary filmed at the 73-bed hospital where this medical team performed hundreds of surgeries and saw more than 500 patients. The film highlights the most resilient and amazing Haitians who are not despondent or mournful, but grateful that these medical teams have saved their lives. Let's take a look.
With most of the healthcare facilities in Port-au-Prince either destroyed or badly damaged, hundreds of thousands of wounded will have to be transported elsewhere for treatment.
What all will you be doing over there?
Whatever we can do. Whatever we can do for all the patients. We're going to do, yes, mostly orthopedic surgery, but we're going to do what we need to do.
We started getting helicopters landing, every 30 to 45 minutes, sometimes 2 at a time, throughout most of the day, and the numbers dramatically went up.
There were 2 little girls that I think about every day. One was a little girl named Sade. I didn't think Sade would live. It wasn't an option to salvage a limb in really almost any case, maybe 1 or 2, but at that point, septic infections were spreading to the body that these patients would have died literally in hours if we didn't amputate. And there just weren't options, and I think I wasn't prepared for that. There weren't options.
3 kids came in, all mangled, and I just had to walk outside and start crying. Everybody came up, big group hug. I think everybody had at least one of those moments. But then then you sort of get yourself back together and you go on with what you're doing.
The people of Malo were probably some of the most remarkable people in the world I've ever seen.
They've come down and they've set up camp out here for the people who are displaced, and they're cooking the meals for everybody. The whole city has just opened up. It's unbelievable.
For now, they've seen over 500 patients and performed 180 surgeries. They leave behind their Haitian friends and patients who have to learn how to live again, many without the use of an arm or leg.
Here to accept this Moore Award is the film's producer, Ellen Lovejoy, and cinematographer, Bernardo Santana.
Thank you very much. We're so honored to be here. We would like to thank the Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons for this incredible honor, and also the Philips Corporation for the grant, which we received 11 months into shooting and editing so that we could pull this film together and distribute it across PBS and globally. We dedicate this award to the people of Haiti and to the medical professionals who donated their time, skills, and resources to help a people in need. Our story is but one story of so many surgeons and medical staff's courageous work globally in disasters and wars and human circumstance. I am personally blessed to come from a family of 3 generations of orthopedic surgeons, with a legacy for volunteerism at home and abroad, and also very handy for broken bones in the family, a car that's broken. As you know, you're not only surgeons, but you can fix anything, and we appreciate that. I've also very blessed to have the opportunity to work with such a dedicated director and cinematographer, Bernardo Santana. There was no crew, no lighting, no backup. It was a man and a camera out to show the world the great work that all of you doctors and all of this team were doing, and also to highlight the resilience of the people who were treated. Medical reporting is vital to educate and inform and inspire action. We were very fortunate to be able to be witness to all of the great things that the orthopedic community and the medical community gave during this time. Again, we just wanted to say thank you very much for this award. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Emmy-nominated Health and Wellness syndicated Dr. Steve Show interviewed award-winning actress Blythe Danner about the silent disease known as osteoporosis. Danner first suspected she had osteoporosis when she broke her foot a few years ago, and that incident made her realize immediately that she needed to do everything she could to strengthen her bones. Let's watch.
Feel better right now with Dr. Steve.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Dr. Steve Salvatore. We've got a really big show for you today. There's a very personal story from a very public figure we all know. Blythe Danner is one of Hollywood's best actresses. Now, Blythe just recently shared a secret with me. She was diagnosed with postmenopausal osteoporosis, or thinning of the bones, something she shares with some 30 million Americans. Well, that puts all of you who are affected at an increased risk for serious fractures. Now, for Blythe, it's personal after she suffered a fracture.
Didn't realize that how these fractures really can affect you, especially, I mean, I've been an independent woman for 10 years since my husband passed away, and I really cherish the fact that I can be independent, you know, and that I can be an active grandmother. Women do neglect themselves, so that's one of the reasons I'm doing this, because I really do want women to get on a program to make their bones stronger. Maintain your own health so that you can take care of your children and grandchildren.
Accepting the American public often relates to a celebrity's experience, so we hope that women who saw this segment take her advice to heart. Accepting David Brown's award is Derek Jones. Derek, please come forward.
Well, I bring apologies from Dave for not being here. I'm not a journalist, I'm not a doctor. I'm a clumsy person who's availed himself of orthopedic surgeons over the years, so I think Dave thought that qualified me. He asked me to express his gratitude and thanks on his behalf, the entire team at the Dr. Steve Show. Segments like this one with Blythe, if they can touch just one person and let them know they're not alone with what they're dealing with what they're suffering from, it can give them the courage to seek help, seek medical advice. If just one person is touched, it's worth it. And they were very proud of this segment, and they are very humbled and honored to receive this award. So thank you very much.
Our final Moore Award goes to ABC News with Diane Sawyer for a touching story that demonstrates the sharp rise in serious sports injuries in children. Caleb Seymour of Holden, Maine, can name all New England Patriot players. See, I told you I was going to have a hard time up here. And he considers himself to be one of Tom Brady's biggest fans. But nothing could put 8-year-old Caleb closer to this team when he took his bad hit playing tackle football in the fall of 2011 and tore his ACL. The same thing happened to his hero, Tom Brady, in 2008. After his injury, Caleb became a patient of Dr. Min Coker, who is all too familiar with seeing these types of injuries in kids who play at a high competitive level at younger and younger ages. Let's watch.
A severe injury you often see in professional athletes, which is increasingly occurring in children, even young children. One Philadelphia hospital reported a 400% surge in the number of children blowing out their knees.
I tore my ACL playing tackle football when I was 9. When I was 10, I tore my ACL while playing soccer. It swelled like a lot. It was the worst thing I ever felt.
The ACL is the main stabilizing ligament of the knee. When athletes run, cut, pivot, and rip the ACL, The knee isn't steady enough to even walk. Nearly 45 million kids, many as young as 5, play organized sports in the United States and play hard.
There are tournaments, travel teams, all-star teams.
No time for the simple playground running, jumping, and climbing that build strong, flexible joints.
They're not out there, doing free play. And I always say, I've never seen an ACL tear in a kid from playing kick the can. This sort of epidemic that we're seeing right now may become an epidemic 10, 20 years down the road of younger people with arthritis in their joints.
It's that risk which worries the Seymours from Holden, Maine. Lisa and Mike's son Caleb took a bad hit playing tackle football 2 months ago when he was just 7 years old.
I went against the biggest person on the team. I knocked out for like 2 seconds, and then when I woke up, I started crying because it started hurting.
But there's one thing that gives him comfort. His hero, Tom Brady, lucky number 12. He wears the jersey to every rehab session. So that gave us an idea. So Tom Brady tore his ACL and he plays sports?
He tore, and then he waited for like a year, and then he played back.
Do you know how he did that?
No.
Maybe you should ask him.
Hi there.
Hello.
How are you? You're Caleb?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Tom. Nice to meet you. We heard you hurt your knee. How did you do that?
Playing football.
Playing football. It's a rough game. Well, guess who else tore his knee? Me. Like any rehabilitation, you got to just put your mind to it and hope that it gets really strong so you can go back out there running with your friends.
A superstar and 8-year-old with something in common besides a love of the game.
Take care of yourself, okay?
Caleb is one determined boy, and I'm happy to see the recovery he has made. It's wonderful to see that Tom Brady has served as Caleb's inspiration. The producer of this piece, Sarah Salehi, now a 2-time Moore Award winner, was planning to be here with us tonight, but was called away at the last minute. However, Caleb and his mother, Lisa Seymour, along with Dr. Min Coker, are here this evening. Will all 3 of you please come to the stage?
Gosh, on behalf of Laura, the producer of this piece for the ABC Evening News with Diane Sawyer, who couldn't be here, I wanted to thank the AAOS for this Moore Award. I think stories like this help the public understand these trends and treatment options for young athletes. I also think these injuries help bring attention to the prevention of injuries. The Stop Sports Injuries campaign focuses on the prevention of youth sports injuries. This was spearheaded by AOSSM and has the support of numerous organizations, including the AAOS. The website stopsportsinjuries.org has a wealth of educational materials for us as orthopedic surgeons, for our patients, and our communities. One thing I learned from this media experience with ABC Evening News and with working with Sandy and the wonderful AAOS media staff is the impact of the individual patient story. I could stand here and tell you that there are over 30 million children in the U.S. involved in youth sports, that children 5 to 14 account for 40% of ER visits for youth for sports injuries, and that over 3.5 million children 14 years and younger are being treated for sports injuries. But the impact of watching one child and his family go through the injury, treatment, and rehab is so powerful. I think that's an important lesson for us when we are involved with the media and with policymakers, such as during this NOLC meeting. We can talk about orthopedic care in terms of qualities, incremental cost-benefit analysis, and the number of dollars saved via productivity. But the stories of our patients also speak very loudly. That's why I'm so excited about the new program, Nation in Motion, that's documented hundreds of patient stories. Caleb's story is one of these stories. He's worked hard to recover and rehab from his ACL injury with the help of his family, friends, therapists, and Tom Brady also. So I'll let him say his story. And I just think it's remarkable that we have an 8-year-old who sat through this whole dinner in front of 300 orthopedic surgeons and is willing to speak to us.
Thanks, Dr. Coker, for helping my knee feel better, and hope that other kids who have the same injury don't give up.
Thank you to ABC News for educating the public about youth sports, and to Caleb for being so brave tonight, as well as for attending with us. On the screen are the names of the media outlets of the remaining Moore Award winners who could not be with us tonight. Thank you to all the media who are here, and special thanks to Christina, Spanky, and Caleb, our fantastic patients. This concludes the Moore Awards portion of our ceremony. Please join me in a final round. Oh no, we just did that. Sorry about that, Sandy. Before we end this evening's banquet, every year the Board of Counselors State Orthopedic Society's committee honors an outstanding State Orthopedic Society and an executive director for their excellent work and dedication to the orthopedic community. Applications are submitted for these awards, and the committee critically evaluates the work, achievements, creativity, innovations, and impact of the State Orthopedic Societies and the executive directors. This year, the committee received numerous applications for both awards, all of whom were extremely well qualified. This is an indication of the growing involvement, sophistication, and quality of our state societies and their executive directors. It is an extremely difficult task to pick just one state society and executive director to receive the award, because they are all deserving. Here to announce the winner of these awards is Dr. Greg McDowell, Chair of the BOC State Orthopedic Societies Committee. Please welcome Dr. McDowell.
John, thank you so very much. It's an honor to be here with you today. I appreciate the opportunity to be with you with this emotional and inspirational evening with all of you today. What I'd like to do is say that we're pleased to announce a State Orthopedic Society winner this evening. The criteria are really based on impact of that society, their creative mind, and their successes over time. The winning organization and its executive director have really done a terrific and phenomenal job in their achievements in the last several years, and I'd like to highlight a few of them. One is membership growth, and this society has grown its membership 60% in 1 year, and in a subsequent year added 71 new members for a 93% growth within a 2-year time frame. I think that's pretty remarkable. They've creatively designed new categories of membership, allowing for group memberships to bring in incentives for additional members, and complementary memberships for residents that are participating, which is obviously so very important. And not surprisingly, they've achieved an expected all-time high in their annual meeting attendance. On the communication side, they've grown their leadership slate. They've helped to add to their website and have developed a very robust site. And they've really stuck to it in terms of regular communication with newsletters, and developed creative webinars for the benefit of the members. They've developed some preferred business relationships on the contractual side to allow partnerships to help in reduce spending costs. And furthermore, they've encouraged their members to be very active in the academy. So with that, I'd like to congratulate and ask you to please congratulate with me Tennessee for their award as the State Orthopedic Society of the Year. And perhaps their executive director, Brian, could join us, as well as any of the members then of the Tennessee State Orthopedic Society.
Let's do one with Brian and then Julie. Let's do one with Brian. Sure.
Everyone, thanks.
Come on, get everybody in there. Got any volunteers?
Thanks again. Nice work. Congratulations. Where's your state? No state. And finally, relative to our announcement of the Executive Director of the Year, this individual who is going to receive this award this evening is well-deserved. She has been available, accomplished, and humble, and I believe innovative as well in her design. She's shown 25 years of leadership to her organization, and in essence really should be achieving a Lifetime Achievement Award this evening. She's not done yet. She's helped us to be a founding member and a conceiver of the State Orthopedic Society and the State Legislative Affairs Society, and she's helped us to craft our support system for our executive directors, and she's going to continue to engage herself in the coming 3 years in that capacity once again as of today with an additional commitment. She's developed a very robust society and has created a number of innovative designs, including, I think, something that you'll hear more about and want to look into, an orthopedic CME online, or the OCO as it's referred to. They have a very creative and powerful 501c3 organization for their foundation work and a robust relationship with their PAC, their legislative aides, their legislative committees, and additionally, they've really accomplished a lot with liability reform, workman's compensation, and a proactive relationship to develop an appropriate fee schedule for much of what they do. So please help me welcome and congratulate Donna Clements Parker, please, with the Texas Orthopedic Association.
It's truly been my pleasure, and I would like to, since everybody else got a group photo, I'd like the Wild Bunch of Texas to come up here, and let's have another photo, please. Come on, Greg.
Surprised you didn't know.
I mean my board of directors.
Where's the rest of those guys? Come on, guys.
Come on.
Where's Texas? There we go.
I've got a bunch. Mark.
You're the big guy.
Get up here. Chad. Chad.
Come on, this one.
Come on.
Your commander won't object to that.
Thank you.
Donna,
Donna, don't forget to...
I forgot to give her this check. I guess I'll take it home. All right. Tennessee, I have something for you too. So, thanks everyone. Let's give each other a big hand for all the work we do. We'll see you all tomorrow morning. We're adjourned. Thank you.